Hey everyone, and welcome to the Marvel Snap Decks of the Week. This week we're talking about 5 individual deck lists, 3 of which will be kind of like meta-based lists you're seeing at the higher ranks of Marvel Snap, one of which will be a Pool 3 exclusive deck list, and the final one will be a Pool 2 exclusive deck list. If you'd like to support the series, please press the like button. It makes a tremendous difference, and I'm also going to include links to my Twitch and my Twitter down in the description below. I'd love if you join those communities as well. We have a ton of fun, and I'm providing what I believe to be some fun, engaging content there as well. With that being said, let's get started with the first deck of the week, which is going to be a meta-based Darkhawk list. Now, I know that a lot of people here are, not going to have Darkhawk, but I feel it's my duty to report what the meta is right now, and Darkhawk is certainly taking a stranglehold on the current Marvel Snap meta. Now, one card I want to talk about here, and I'll talk about the synergies as well, but we're seeing a bit of a resurgence in Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch at the higher levels of play is starting to slide into more decks. I find it the higher that I'm climbing in rank and the more infinite players that I'm facing, the more I'm seeing Scarlet Witch. So I just want to mention this because I feel like Scarlet Witch might be seeing a bit of a resurgence in the meta. So just bear that in mind. It might be a surprising kind of take in a couple of these deck lists, but we are seeing a resurgence in Scarlet Witch. From there, it's worth noting that the Darkhawk based list revolves around a couple different packages. The first is the Disruption packages, which features Korg, Black Widow, and of course Rock Slide. All of these work wonderfully with Zabu. Zabu in particular with the Rock Slide and Moon Girl allow you to replicate your hand and perhaps even replicate Darkhawk, who is a 4 in and of itself. Darkhawk of course gets 2 additional power per card in the opposing deck, so naturally Rock Slide and Korg have a significant amount of value there. It's also worth noting that Mystique can be used to copy the Darkhawk, which is great because Darkhawk only has naturally 1 power, so Mystique only basically gets the full benefit of the Darkhawk ability, which is absolutely fantastic. Chavez is required in Zabu based lists for the most part because drawing Zabu on turn 3 is a legitimate snap and win condition. Regardless, you are seeing a lot of Zabu based lists out there. The armor is being used to protect Darkhawk. You can actually sub armor out and put Cosmo in if you want to counter some of the Silver Surfers you're seeing, because spoiler alert, we're going to talk about Silver Surfer as well. I mean, the meta is kind of like really revolving around some of these Season Pass cards right now. But regardless, Darkhawk continues to be one of the absolute top tier shells in the current meta. While we're still on the topic of Zabu, for deck number 2, a new version of Zabu-based Handsize list is emerging in the current meta. And what you're seeing is a Devil Dinosaur base list that utilizes a lot of the cards that really benefit from Devil Dinosaur in a Zabu shell. So essentially, as we discussed prior, Scarlet Witch is seeing more play in the Infinite Rakes. You are seeing Agent 13 being used in conjunction with White Queen. White Queen is just high value, also gives you some scouting information while maintaining your hand size as well. With Zabu, both Shang-Chi and Moon Girl provide a lot of value. Of course, Shang-Chi as a counter, but Moon Girl with the card generation and can be played on turn 6 to make sure that your Devil Dinosaur is topped off. It's also worth noting that the Moon Girl can replicate Devil Dinosaur, providing you with the opportunity to play Devil Dinosaur and then a Devil Dinosaur on turn 6. So Devil Dinosaur on 5, Devil Dinosaur on 6. You can also copy the Devil Dinosaur ongoing effect with someone like Mystique. Note that the -3 kind of power, I shouldn't say -3, but basically Devil Dinosaur has 3 base power, Mystique does not. So that actually gets felt a little bit in the prior deck. Then the 1 power of Darkhawk doesn't get felt nearly as much. So just bear that in mind when you're doing your math. It's not a straight 1-to-1 copy. It's not like a Taskmaster, for instance. However, it's worth noting that this deck list is doing a lot of work in the current meta. I think that Devil Dinosaur is one of those cards you can reliably turn to. Even if, you don't have, Darkhawk and others, Devil Dinosaur does provide an option to help you win cubes in the current meta. Alright, here we are, deck number 3, and as predicted, it's Sera Surfer, and you probably kind of knew that. But this is kind of something that I've been really trying to think about here, and I'd be interested in your comments down below of how we can kind of change the format of this a little bit to maybe make a little more spice, because we don't want the homebrews, and that's absolutely fine. But I kind of feel like, hey, I'm talking about Sera Surfer again, and yeah, Sera Surfer's really hot in the meta right now, and it's kind of like a really vanilla list I'm showing you. But at the same time, it's how can I provide more value to you? Let me know, because if this is just straight up valuable for you, if you guys just want, Alex, just show me the straight up meta, then I'll do it. Do you guys want more decks? Do you guys want more of a report? Do you want it tiered? Let me know in the comments what you guys think, because I'm recording, I'm man, do people actually want to see this? Are we good with just straight up meta lists? Because the homebrews are gone. is this what we want, right? So I'd be interested in your comments, truthfully and honestly. But yeah, it's a straight up Sera Surfer list. As always, Sera is very good because you can play 3 cards at the turn 6, especially since they're all 3 costs. It's funny because I've been talking to some other some players, and we're kind of starting to see maybe addition of more 2-drops to make the curve a little better, because this is a really greedy shell. That's generally what you're seeing from the Sera Surfer list. But realistically, like, as long as you got Brood, right? You got Brood, you got Sera, and you got Surfer. You got a win condition, right? Naturally, the Cosmo is great because you can utilize Cosmo to kind of prevent the other Sera Surfer you're probably mirrored against from actually going off, although it can kind of be a little disruptive for yourself. Obviously, the Storm Juggernaut is an amazing combination. You need a little bit of that location correction. Scorpion's great because Scorpion counters the other Sera Surfers, because Scorpion hitting Brood is a significant power hit because it becomes a 3-1, which is not good, and it's basically a 3-power hit across the board, so it's pretty damn good. Mr. Fantastic doing work with the way the current locations are working out. But anyways, yeah, it's Sera Surfer, as you'd expect, and I mean, I like the deck list, but it's wearing a little thin on people's patience, I would say. All right, and here we are, deck number 4, and it's a Pool 3 exclusive list featuring Electro and Wave Ramp. Now, I love this list because it features no Series 4 or 5 cards, naturally because it's exclusive, but it's worth noting that, like, even when I'm playing, like, just my straight-up ladder list and I'm, you know, I have access to Pool 4 and 5 cards, like, I'm not even really running them. Like, yes, this deck list is very Pool 3 intensive with, like, the Doctor Doom, the Arrow, the Magneto, but, like, outside of that, obviously Electro Wave, but, like, outside of that, you know, you don't need any Series 4 or 5. I don't even use Series 4 and 5 when I got access to them because, like, Scorpion's great because it counters the, as I said prior, it hits those Broods, right? You got Leech, which destroys Silver Surfer lists. This deck list is a little weaker to Zabu because, like, you know, you're not really doing much to really counter the Zabu. You're just putting a lot more pressure and board space on, kind of board pressure, I should say. Vision allows you to kind of like move into like Spider-Man to locations, which is nice. Arrow is extremely disruptive. And if you can Doctor Doom Odin, that's like an immense amount of power spread across the board that can once again access spider-locked locations. So, I mean, this is a very good list. And obviously the Magneto is very disruptive to all the 3 and 4 drops you're currently finding. We're not playing someone like Kingpin, but the Magneto does mess with their board state, which can be advantageous to you. So I do like this list. I tend to find myself playing Leech because of the amount of combo-centric decks that I'm facing. Leech just destroys Surfer lists, just completely dismantles them. So, I mean, this is a really good list if you're looking to rank up right now and you want something that's like Pool 3 exclusive. And honestly, like, you don't need Pool 5 cards in this deck list. And it's a good one. It's a lot of fun. And as I said, you have several built-in counters here. And if you want to kind of bake in a couple extra ones, then go for it. All right, for the final deck of the week, we're talking about a Pool 2 disruption list. This is a little more on the homebrew side, of course, because we were getting a lot less data about what's happening in Pool 2. But regardless, if you are in Pool 2 and you're facing like people buying Surfer-based lists and you're getting really annoyed, the Sandman Cosmo kind of package here is really going to disrupt the ability for players who are playing Silver Surfer and combo-based lists and basically just make them want to retreat. A very natural, by the way, kind of upgrade here from Pool 3 is to include Psylocke. If you've unlocked Psylocke, definitely get her in here. You could probably get rid of like Lizard, or I would keep Colossus, but maybe get rid of Lizard or someone like that. Even Ebony Maw can come out. You add Psylocke, and that allows you to basically get the Sandman out on turn 3, which is cool because you have the Cosmo, you've got Mr. Fantastic, and then you can follow up with Blue Marvel or Claw and Spectrum, which of course is going to hit all the ongoing cards. These are all ongoing cards, which of course really benefits the Spectrum. Shang-Chi is not. However, you do need something to kind of deal with the Devil Dinosaurs you're likely to see at that kind of MMR range. And so Shang-Chi might be an absolutely necessary evil. If they have a Devil Dinosaur, you got to punch it out, right? But outside of that, this is a deck list I think that could be a lot of fun. Sandman can feel a little bad, but when you're in Pool 2 and you're trying to like contest these types of decks, like, it can feel a little tricky. Sandman might be an auto retreat for them, so it's something you can experiment with. But Sandman, I think, does need a buff, honestly, so you can feel a little behind tempo wise. But it's a good starting point for you if you find yourself facing a lot of combo-based Sera Surfer style decks and you want to kind of get an upper hand against those combo fools. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I got another video down below if you're interested in watching more Marvel Snap content. I appreciate all the support, guys, the comments, the likes, and all the rest. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next Marvel Snap video.